First, you must check the overload valve pressure. When measuring the pressure, assume that the pressure sensor in the main pump is working normally. If the pressure is already shown when you turn the key on before starting the engine, check the pressure sensor and replace it if necessary. The pressure should be measured at maximum RPM under the relief conditions. At present, the main relief pressure is around 330 bar, while the boost-up pressure is around 360 bar. These pressures are the main relief pressure and pressure-up pressure, not the overload valve pressure. This is because the relief pressure of the overload valve is higher than the main relief pressure or pressure-up pressure. We should either set the main relief pressure higher than the overload valve pressure or set the overload valve pressure lower than the main relief pressure. However, the purpose of doing so is to adjust the overload valve pressure correctly, so the main relief pressure needs to be higher than the overload valve pressure. At present, the main relief pressure is around 330 bar, while the boost-up pressure is around 360 bar. Relief is performed by the overload valve, so you can check the overload valve pressure on the monitor. In the machine we are currently adjusting, the overload valve pressure has been set abnormally, so let's take a look at how to adjust it. First, in order to adjust the main relief valve, bring your tools over to the machine. Be sure to have an oil sump ready to prevent environmental contamination due to hydraulic oil. To increase the pressure-up pressure, loosen the lock nut again. Turn the pressure-up pressure valve clockwise to increase the pressure. Now, the main relief pressure is over 400 bar, so measure the overload valve relief pressure. The pressure shown on the monitor is the current overload valve relief pressure. It is around 34 bar higher than the standard level. In order to adjust it, head over to the control valve. Open the bonnet and remove the top cover on the MCV. Put the MCV cover in a safe place. Be especially careful as the cover is very heavy. Before adjusting the overload valve, let's see where the overload valve is located in the actual MCV. The location may differ from the image above depending on the MCV model, so refer to the circuit diagram first to check the exact location. Overload valves are compatible, so in emergencies you can remove and use the optional one. Let's have a look at how the overload valve works. The overload valve prevents the system from being damaged by eliminating cavitation caused by major unexpected shocks to the cylinders or actuators during operation with a relief and drain function. The overload valve plays two roles. At a pressure of over 360 bar, high-pressure oil in the system goes to the tank. If the HP is in a vacuum, oil fills the HP port. Loosen the lock nut on the end of the overload valve. Using an Allen wrench, turn the overload valve adjusting screw counterclockwise to lower the pressure. Start the engine and check whether the actual pressure has been adjusted properly on the monitor. Check this in power mode at the maximum RPM. Once it is set to the standard pressure of around 360 bar, turn off the engine. Retighten the lock nut on the overload valve adjusting screw. Reinstall the top cover on the MCV. Be especially careful as the cover is very heavy. Now, return to the MCV and readjust the main relief valve. When the pressure is adjusted, the main relief pressure at the back also increases or decreases. To adjust the pressure, loosen the lock nuts first. Adjust the pressure counterclockwise to reduce as pressure the whole component moves all together. Once the pressure has been adjusted, tighten the lock nuts again.